Broadway, listen to the Broadway Beat. Broadway makes you wanna move your feet. Everybody's tapping into everything that's happening on Broadway Beat. Broadway Beat. Broadway Beat. Broadway Beat.
Hello, I'm Richard Ridge for Broadway Beat. On Wednesday evening, November 30th, there'll be a one-night-only concert performance of the John Kander, Fred Ebb, and Terrence Mcnally musical, The Visit, at the Ambassador Theater, which will benefit the Actors Fund and the Vineyard Theater. And it stars Tony Award winners Chita Rivera and John Cullum. And I'm here in the rehearsal room to give you a sneak peek.
Yellow shoes, look at me wearing my yellow shoes. Got me a pair of those yellow shoes, finally feeling secure. Thank you, God, now that you know that I'm so well shod. Don't you agree that it's really odd? Folks used to think I was poor. People who call themselves the elite are people who take good care of their feet. So I'm strolling in yellow shoes, light as a feather in yellow shoes. Hell-bent for leather, they keep out the damp. Say I'm no tramp, I walk like a champ in yellow shoes.
Well, I love the music. I love how this creative team of John Kander, Fred Ebb, and Terrence Mcnally turned this typical revenge story, something that's always been seen as a revenge story and a search for justice, into a love story. The addition of music, lyrics, and dance took this piece into a lyrical place where we see what was lost between these two people, between this man and this woman, when they were 17 and 20 years old, and it's exquisite. It's absolutely beautiful.
Oh, it's really exciting. You know, we've been working on The Visit once in 2001 and then another time in 2008. And to show you the loyalty, a lot of the people that you saw here today are all from the original cast. They love it so much that they kind of dropped whatever they were doing and came to help us with the Actors Fund benefit and also for the Vineyard Theater. So it's a great privilege and honor. I love what John and Fred and Terrence did. John Kander, Fred Ebb, Terrence Mcnally did. The writing and the music and the lyrics are so profound and so good. And I get so inspired by the music, which is good for a dancer, you know, and good for staging. You know, there are only 2 dancers in this show, and everybody else is a singer-actor. But they will do anything, you know, to make it work. And so it's been a wonderful time for me to work in a completely different way. You know, staging is a different craft than actually putting a dance together. So it's been wonderful for me and a great experience. And they put up with me.
You need never leave me. We'll be unified. 2 of you betrayed me. Let's put that aside. All of you have brought me justice that I crave. So after this little bit, our relationship can and will be saved.
She said that we will be saved. We would never, ever leave you. Wonder where you might be there. Dressed up like a baron. Baby, it looks to kill. We will never, ever leave you. We are here to save. If someone should save you,
Well, it was, I think, Fred Ebb's idea. I'm pretty sure. Let's make a musical of The Visit. I signed on right away. I thought it was a great idea. I knew the play. I'd seen it with the Luntz many, many years ago when I was a student at Columbia back in the late 50s. I think it was 1959. The play was done for the first time at what is now, well, it was when they changed the name of the theater to the Lunt Fontaine to celebrate. The show was relatively quick in getting written, frankly. Some shows are hard, some, it's a little easier. And this one, we sort of did it, and we wanted to try it out. We went to the Goodman Theater in Chicago, where Spider-Woman had several big overhauls. This show has pretty much stayed the same since the first draft. One or two new songs, one or two new scenes, but it's sort of always been there, and I think right. I don't feel, I'm tweaking it, no one else is.
For one thing, without sounding pompous, I think it's maybe the best of our collaboration with Terrence. It's a piece that, though as I was telling him the other day, each time I visit one of the other pieces we did, I think that's it. But it's a piece that I think we were deeply proud of, and it's for our close friend Chita. It seems, and I've told her this, it's like the culmination of everything that her career has been about. And for New York not to see that performance would have been tragic, I think. Whatever happens with this, whether it's ever done again, at least they will have seen her do this. And I mean, it's kind of brazen to say that, but I really think it's everything that Chita is as an artist. And the other part that's fun is that we have all, I would say, 90% of the cast together. So it's been like a big, well, you've watched it in this room. It's a big old home week.
And just, Terrence was saying this is one of the easiest musicals to write. He said some are harder than others. He thought this is one of the easiest musicals you all wrote. Would you agree?
Yes. And if I tried to tell you why, one of the things that helped us, it seems to me, at least helped me as a composer, was in rereading the Durhamont play, I realized that in the plot, which is a very, very rich lady comes to an impoverished place to bring her millions, and in a very calculated way, that community sends one of its own out to seduce her and keep the money, and that plot is the plot of The Merry Widow. And once I realized that, and once I realized that Durhamont knew that, as he undoubtedly did, it became a Viennese operetta standing on its head. And so the form of this piece is very much in that tradition. And people don't have to know that. There's no reason that they should even realize it later on, but in terms of the way I was approaching it, it was that. And it's so, in so many ways, it's such a bizarre kind of plot, or rather the characters are kind of bizarre, and it's about 10 feet off the ground in terms of style. That is easier to write than something more prosaic. So we had a very good time writing it, and not a hard time.
Well, I'm still trying to figure it out. And one of the reasons is it's become much more complicated with the music, because the music, which you don't get in the play, the music reveals the inner soul of these people, and you didn't get that. They were more, in my opinion, they were more like cardboard figures they were mouthpieces. They were political mouthpieces in the original, and this has become all of that plus a very strong underlying love story. So what used to be just a story of revenge as far as the narrative was concerned has become a powerful story of a relationship between these two people. And of course Chita is wonderful, and I'm no slouch, and we've worked together before, and it's very exciting for both of us.
You know, it's meant to be. That's what I believe. At least for this one, performance, and for the Actors Fund, it's amazing. And it feels wonderful. And we've got the same company we had in Virginia, and I've got John Cullum. I haven't worked with John Cullum since 1492. We look good for being that old, don't we? And so that's a joy, And to just the first day everybody came into the studio, it was like, it was joyous. It was joyous. So somebody in New York will see this show on Wednesday. We believe in it. To hear the score again, Richie, was just, mesmerizing. And when we started to do our tango, the first day rehearsal, we just smiled and just loved it and lived through it. So it's an exciting evening for us.
It's such a beautiful musical. Just take me back to the beginning for a second of when you first heard the score by John and Freddie and read Terrence's words. What went through your mind?
Well, I knew it was important. I felt it was important. I felt the passion. I felt the beauty of the words. It's about humanity, and that's what we need a big dose of. We need a big dose of people being honest and true and think about each other. And so this is a reminder that we've come pretty far away from that. That might sound a little morbid, but I don't mean it to. But when I heard the music, John's music makes me cry anyhow. He has the most beautiful melodies, and it's intricate. It seems simple. Even the what Peg-led tango is hard because it's tense and it's simple, and it's in the uniformed movement is so precise. So, and then, of course, to sing Freddie's words, please. I actually turn into Freddie when I sing his words. So when I first heard it, I thought, wow, how lucky am I to play this role? And I want to do the very, very best I can. And I hope that New York welcomes it, and they want to see it, because we desperately need what we do best, and that's an original American musical. Nobody does it better than we do. Nobody does it better than Kander and Ebb. Nobody does it better than Kander and Ebb, and Terrence, So you feel you got some power behind you. Certainly you have art. Certainly you have things that you can relate to. I think the whole audience can relate to some part of this musical. And I love seeing things, movies or plays, where you leave the show and you go out and you have a drink and you talk about it. You talk about it. It's not a piece of fluff. It's not a piece of something that it's important. So I'm really very, very proud. And I'm hoping that we'll be able to do it. That's all.
I